and welcome to another episode of Movie Spoiler Alert. Today we're talking about the 2016 space film, Passengers, so let's get started. The film opens with the starship Avalon, transporting roughly 5,000 passengers in hibernation pods to the planet Homestead 2, a journey that should take 120 years. However, 30 years into the journey, the ship passes through a meteor storm, which leads to multiple malfunctions, including waking Jim Preston, a mechanical engineer who is woken up 90 years before their arrival. Jim is unable to re-enter stasis and realizes that he will have to live out his days alone on the ship and most likely will die before they reach their destination. Jim becomes quite depressed after being alone for a year, only able to talk to the android bartender Arthur and contemplates suicide. Jim then notices the video profile of another passenger named Aurora Layne and discovers that she is a writer. Jim decides to awaken her from her stasis, claiming that her pod must have also malfunctioned. Aurora is devastated at the realization that she will grow old and die before the ship reaches its destination. She eventually accepts her fate and starts to write a book about her experience, and her and Jim start to fall in love. After a year alone together, the android Arthur accidentally reveals that Jim woke Aurora from stasis, and her pod had not actually malfunctioned. Aurora becomes extremely upset, even attacks Jim. Eventually, another pod fails, awakening Chief Deck Officer Gus. With Gus's security clearance, the three passengers discover that the ship is experiencing multiple system failures, and a total destruction is imminent unless the ship is repaired. Gus, however, was severely damaged when his pod malfunctioned, and discovers that he only has a few short hours to live, so he gives his ID badge to Jim and Aurora so that they can access the ship and repair it. They discover that the damage occurred from the meteor collision 2 years earlier, and that the computer controlling the fusion reactor was damaged, causing the ship to malfunction. The damaged module is replaced, but the vent for the reactor must be manually opened from the ship's exterior. Jim goes outside the ship and vents the reactor, but is blasted back and his tether snaps. He begins floating into space, but Aurora retrieves him and uses the ship's machines to resuscitate him. Aurora forgives Jim, and the two of them stay together. The film then transitions to 88 years later as the crew begin to awaken. The crew find a small house with Aurora's book of her and Jim's life together inside. So that was the spoilers for Passengers. If you have another film you'd like to see me spoil, please let me know in the comments below. Check us out on our various forms of social media, and remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.